YouTube, and go live YouTube. Okay, so theoretically, I'm live on YouTube. Theoretically. Hello everyone. So we were working on, we had gotten the idle like breathing for the gun done. Now we're gonna get the sway for the gun finished. I had to go and drop my mom off at a Mexican restaurant where they're celebrating Cinco de Mayo with half price margaritas and $2 beers. So I had a beer and a margarita, and I'm back. And now I'm having some Dr. Pepper and gin, and we're going to get work done. So yeah, now you're all caught up. Let's dive in. I'm fucking plastered. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go in here, and it needs to be quaternion dot angle what is it? Angle axis, and give it negative mouse vector instead of vector 3 here needs to be the actual position that we're moving, which is gun pivot. Go gun pivot dot position, excuse me, dot it needs to be rotation, local rotation dot right. And then quaternion rotation is equal to quaternion dot angle, not angle, this mouse x, comma, gun pivot dot local rotation
pass in negative input this time. Now we can create one final quaternion that will be both X rotation and Y rotation combined. I'll call it target rotation, and since we're dealing with quaternions, we can simply multiply them to calculate it. The final step is to actually rotate the weapon holder. To do this, we're going to use quaternion.slurp, which interpolates between two quaternions. So set the
Wait, actually, no. Here. Let's copy that, but we are going to do, it does just need to be vector 3 up and vector 3 right. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. We'll find out. Quaternion target rotation equals rotation X multiplied rotation Y. And then gun pivot dot local rotation.
Local rotation to quaternion.slurp. Pass in the
is equal to quaternion dot slurp .
current transform local rotation for the first quaternion and pass in the target rotation for the second. And for the time, pass in smooth multiplied by time.delta time. That's it for the script. In the inspector, you can see we now have two time. That's it for
and way smooth multiplied by time delta. Cool. Save that up here. Our sway smooth multiplier. Or up there. Mouse Y and mouse X do not exist in the current context. Oh, I've got them capitalized. Bada boom.
the script. In the inspector, you can see we now have two variables, the smooth and the sway multiplier. I'd set them to something like 8 for the smooth and 2 for the multiplier. And when you test it, you can see that the weapon is rotating very nicely as we look around. This makes the game feel much nicer. And you're done.
Alright, so let's try 8 and 2. Let's go look at the code again. Sway smooth is amount of time that we slurp by, and multiplier is like how much by each direction. All right, so that is pretty fucking exaggerated. So let's try the sway multiplier, making it 1. Sway smooth, let's turn it down to 4. Get down to 2. Point 7. That is perfect. Sway multiplier do 0.9. I think 0.9 is right where we need it by. And now we just need it to also happen when we're falling. We need the thing to go to animate our fall. Right, good. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, hopefully you get good sleep, Dylan. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, wait. It reset to its default values. So, hold on. It's going to be 2.9. Let's go up here. Let's make these private again. Private. The smooth is equal to 2. F, and the multiplier is 0.9. Control S. Back. These should disappear. Perfect. Now. Oh, that's so fucking nice. Wait, hold on. Do that again. So when we pull out the weapon, it comes up from the bottom. Oh, that's so nice. So, weapon looks good when we walk. You've got it looking good here. And when we move around, it actually rotates a bit with our character movement. Perfect. Sway smooth as the time takes to complete it. So, what if we make it like, make it take way longer? Let's see how that looks. That makes it way faster. Try 1.5. Play around with these values for a second. God, I just pissed before I went. Word. Looks good. The only thing that I would say is probably need to take our ADS speed, turn it up. Or excuse me, our idle speed. Or let's That's much better. All right. So we've got sway, all that stuff applied. We need to do some more. But first things first, I need to come up with ideas. If you got an idea of what we should do next, animation wise, let me know. What should we do? That's the main. I'll call it. Let's see. So I mean, we got gun breathing and everything added in. Let's see how this looks with the pistol instead of the C. Do that up. Well, I think the position will have to be changed a little bit for this, but I think pistols will have to have their own little bit of custom code with their own variables changed. But I think other than that, we should be good. We'll just have to change the idle position. Pistols, but I think the CM4 settings will work for everything. Enable the scopes again. Disengage the pistol. Go the CA47. How this looks. Yeah. See, it looks fine. And obviously, because everything's kind of going off the scopes, looks all good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit off. Like the idle position, we'll just move it a little bit down for the pistol, and the center is fine. We're just also going to come up with its own sway parameters and bump them down just a little bit, and yeah, it'll be perfect. I think we'll be just fine. Let's try without the scopes. Try just the iron sights. Let's see how it looks with just the iron sights. Oh, wait, hold on. The iron sights are not really meant to go on the K74U. I mean, we can do it. The K74U is just going to come with a dot. Like the K74U customized. Good. See, it kind of sways around the center there. And then we'll have a, like when you're aiming down sights and you hold the run button, instead of running, you're, as long as you're not, you know, moving in any direction, as long as you're standing still, aiming down sights, and you hold the shift key, then you'll be able to hold your breath and center your shot for like 2 seconds, something like that. I'll make it a very short duration. You can center your sights. Yeah. Or we could just not do that. Make it to where you can't center your sights. You're not like some pro marksman, like you're always going to have a little bit of drift in your shot. Get it just lined up right. I think we might do that. No need to add more functionality. Not needed. Besides, it's not like you're swaying way off center or anything, like, you know, tiny bit off center. And then obviously we're going to have recoil and stuff when you're firing. That good stuff. Also have that be procedural. Oop, my mouse got messed up there. But when you're moving, it goes off center a bit. Perfect. Love it. Cool beans. Oh, yes, crouch and lean does work at the same time. I was kind of doing it there, but I'll show you. So we pull up the gun. So crouch and lean same time. Crouch, stand up, lean, crouch, stand up. Yep. It all works. It all works good and dandy. So yeah, we have good sway with the gun. We've got it bobbing. it's starting to come together. It really is slowly but surely started to come together. So, and I mean, I am really excited to show you guys the arms, because the arms setup for this is going to be fucking ridiculously easy. The only difficult part is going to be figuring out how we do reloads. We need to find out the best. Most likely what we're going to do for reloading is just have the gun go down and then come back up. That's most likely all we're going to do. And yeah, that'll probably be it. We'll probably do the most basic reload animation humanly possible. Just because a fancy reload animation, sure, it does look nice, but there's really no need for it. Like, it's not like anyone is gonna dislike the game because of that. And there really is no problem with just taking the gun down out of camera, having a reload sound effect, and then it coming back up. Fine. I don't think anyone will complain, especially as long as the gunplay is good. So all that animating in Blender meant nothing. Yes, actually, I've been talking about that, Fraggle. I'm pretty sure all of the animation work that I did in Blender is useless. We might just do a reload animation in Blender and port it back over here and use that. But I would kind of like to keep everything procedural, only because that means all of the animation work and stuff isn't tied to proprietary assets. It's all code that can be made open for all of you guys. So I do kind of like going the procedural route. Also, that means when we move over to another game engine for the multiplayer release, that'll be completely open source. Hopefully, as long as this game makes enough to where I can hire some artists to do some models and some texturing. I might do the texturing work myself, but at the very least get artists to do all the new models and everything for the new game. We'll be able to transfer over all the animation code. We'll just have to, rewrite it a slight bit, change it into a different programming language, but other than that, it'll work fine. Yeah, I did. I mean, it kind of sucks, but also at the same time, I'm not really butthurt about it. Like, I do have a lot of fun animating, so the fact that we're not using it, like, sure, it does suck. We put some time into it, but if that ruined the experience of game development for me or for most people, actually stuff like that does ruin the game development process for a lot of people, and that's why they quit. Because wasting time on features, a certain type of approach to a problem is going to happen throughout a game's development. It's going to happen. You spend hours doing something, you're like, this isn't going to work, or I think we can do it in a different way and do it better. It's going to happen. So I'm not too butthurt about it. It happens. So not that big of a deal. The animations we were doing in there were nice, but I think these are also going to end up being nicer and more open source. Everyone can use them. Because in Blender, all of those animation and blend files have copyrighted assets in them that I can't share. So this way, it's nicer. It's all just done in code, and I can definitely share this whole file. And it's more reproducible. So nice. But also I do kind of like animating procedurally. It is just kind of nice. So yeah, we got our input sway, everything. What are we gonna do? Let me play this for a second. and find out what I'm most interested in working on next. I do like how the gun comes into the position. Let's try something. Let's do is paused start equals true. I just want to see what this does. If this makes it to where we start off level and center. Yep. I think doing it that way is the best way to go. That way our gun doesn't start off in an odd position. Like we start the game up. It'll, like once you load in the level, it'll be paused. Escape. Start playing the game. I like that. That gets rid of all the weird behavior at the start with the gun coming in, because when we add arms, that whole like swinging in part could really cause some weird behavior. Did you do or will you be increasing the sway when running and decreasing when crouched? Yes. I don't think we're going to decrease the sway when crouched. Just let's look at it here together. Because I think when we're crouched, I mean, when we start, we haven't started messing with the speed when we're crouched, so we need to go ahead and do that. We also need some other things in here for scale and size. So let's go in here and set up our debug level with a little bit more stuff going on just for scale. Let's go down in here into our assets and our polygon apocalypse, prefabs, buildings. We're going to add in some stuff for scale. So we're going to add in this apartment building here. Zero this puppy out. Let's move it over here and rotate it around that axis. Put it back over here. Let's see what polygon auto repair shop. Sure. Slap that in. Zero it out. And then move it over here. Rotate it. Around. It over here. Just so we've got some stuff for scale. And yeah. We'll do that. Click play. Just so we got some more stuff in here for scale. So yeah, we are probably going to turn down the sway a bit when we crouch. and we're walking. We'll probably turn down the sway a bit. All kind of depends. Yeah, no, we will. We will. Let's go ahead and start working on that. Why not? So let's go in here. Let's go to the handle crouching and stuff. Let's go down to lean and crouch logic. Handle crouch. Let's see. Where's the walk speed? Move speed. Here we go. Crouch speed. Speed the player crouches at. Crouch. Crouch. Move speed. We're going to do this at 2. So let's go down here. Let's go. If controller dot hold on. Not put it in here. Down here to where we're moving. Where are we multiplying it by move speed? There we go. That's move speed. If is crouching is true, then set go speed. Walk speed 3. So go down here. If player is not crouching, or if player is crouching, then set move speed equal to walk speed. Oh wait, excuse me. Crouch speed. If not crouching and move speed not equal to walk speed, and set move speed equal to walk speed. Then let's go ahead and make sure that's working. Now if I click play, there should be no difference in walking. Seems like we're slower. Yeah, we're the same speed. Hold on. So if we're not paused, all of these movement speeds, we're going to make these private because we're going to stop messing with them. Yeah, why is this not working? Oh, move speed does not equal walk. Didn't set it to. There we go. That's why it's not. So now got our normal walk. Slow down. I think we're going to cut down that walk speed quite a bit. Or crouch speed. 6. All right, so now let's go down here to the calculate sway thing. And So in here in this else statement, we're going to have another if is crouching is true, and we are going to copy this here and do 3. Else irregular. Let's try. Buddy is. Dude, you've already been outside. So get the regular view bobbing. See? We need to slow it down even more. Let's do just 2. Slow it down, and we also need to decrease the frequency. Or yeah. To change the lerp speed. I think we would just need to increase the scale. All right, Buddy's whining like crazy. I'm going to go take him out. I'll be back in a second. But yeah, we're making progress. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely, making that progress. I'll be right back. All right, so I just let Buddy out. I need you boys. I'm going to rely on you guys in chat to be absolute chads and remind me to let him back in. Because I'm drinking. I could easily forget. So hold on, let's test this. Because I think we decreased sway time. think that's perfect. That is perfect. Epic. Epic. All right. Yeah, that's charge that. All right, so now we need to get running functionality. Fun. Let's do that next. What am I doing? I have nary a clue. First things first, let's go over here into our input action. And we need to add an action in here for running. Running. Action type button here. Shift. Another binding, and on the gamepad, what should running be? See, here's the problem. On gamepad, we don't want it to be something that you have to continue to hold down. But how do we set this up? Left stick press. We'll work on it later on. Now let's just get the function out. Inputs, go down in here. Crouching. Let's go. Control C is running. So let's go down here to inputs. Here on jump, let's Control C. All this. So if is grounded and context is performed, then we want to set is running to hold on, started is running as true if context here, no matter what. Set this outside of the is grounded here. If context dot canceled. Oh my god, canceled. Then is running to false. So if we're grounded, then we can start run. No matter what, if we cancel, it's out of there. Down here in the statements, we can take these out of the is grounded statement. So if we stop leaning, no matter what, we want it to come back to the center. My phone. Checks on that. So cool. We got our running function added, so we can actually get it implemented. So now here, if it's running, it's true. So if we start running, want it to cancel out all this stuff up here. If is running, then go if is crouching, it's true. Then go is crouching set to false. If we start running from crouching, we stop crouching. Like as soon as we start running, we're not crouching anymore. We don't have to press anything to make that happen. And then down in here, now we need a run speed. Do. Walk speed. Control C. Control V. All this run speed. I'm make it 425 player runs. And not running. Speed is walk speed, then set it there. If it's crouching, set it there. Go if is running, set move speed equal to run speed. That there, go down in here to our calculate weapon sway. And if it's crouching there, is running, then take this right here and turn it up to 6.5. So now let's see how that looks. Oh, player controller already contains a definition for is running. Oh yeah, it's down here. Is running Boolean. We can remove the is running, is walking. We just want player gun states here. Control S. All right, I'm gonna buddy back in a second. So get regular walking. I hold down shift. Nothing happens, but I know why. It's because we set it up in player. A jigger. Player input. Events player. Add object. Player function. Player running. Should actually have something happen. Now I want to hold down shift. Nope. I think 6.5 is a little bit high for it. think we need to turn up the player speed, really, when we're running. Run speed, it's still 4.25. Let's make it 5.5. You start hauling ass. See how that looks. Yeah. I think that amount of sway with it going back and forth between two different positions, because we're gonna add in the actual animation for walking and everything here in a sec. But yeah, I think that's gonna work out just fine. The speed of the player bumped up even. I would say it needs to be 7. Needs to really feel like you're actually running. I would say this is closer to what we would want. Slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. I think we could bump this up to 8 and be just fine here. And the crouch move speed, turn it down to 1.4. So we move a little bit slower, the crouch. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much better. The run. So now if we start here, we start walking towards the other side. Takes a while. But we get there. We run across. Happens much faster, but it's not ridiculously fast. Getting around buildings will still take a second. So repositioning will take a sec, but you'll be able to do it. Cool. All right. Now we just got to get the run animation procedurally programmed in. Then we are all good. And then we're going to get rid of this white dot eventually. We're probably going to keep it in for quite a while for debugging. But I mean, the actual crosshair is going to be based off of, well, the weapon's crosshair. It's where the bullets are actually going to come from. So. And I guess we could go ahead and discuss how we want bullets to work at some point, because we can do the more realistic bullets where they actually have physics and like there's bullet drop to it over range, or we can just do the raycast thing where we shoot an invisible line out wherever it intersects, do stuff there. It's kind of up to you guys. Kind of just depends on which system you like in games better. I'm not too keen on realistic bullet physics in games. Kind of just want my bullets to go exactly where I think they should go. And it just be based off of me like positioning right, you know, being able to hit what I'm shooting at. I don't know where you've been sold, but I'd be insane not to play my role. Bye Valorant.
Much better than the old one. And while making the new one, I also added sliding because one guy in the comments said to. I also tried to make the UI a bit more interesting and functional.
This must have played while I was asleep because I don't remember watching this. This dude's got a nice little project here. Pretty freaking nice.
Hey guys, welcome to devlog point 37 for my indie shooter, Giovanni Goes to Pizza. In this video I wanted to go over how I turned my game from feeling terrible to play to feeling moderately acceptable for a low price indie game. If we take a look at what gameplay looked like from about 5 months ago, you may notice that the game looks pretty stiff. The animations are slow and awkward, the gunplay lacked impact, and overall there was a lack of game feel.
Dude, this game sucks.
So the first thing I started working on improving was the gunplay, more specifically the recoil animations. Now the way I've been doing these animations is through code that lerps the gun between two positions. The nice thing about this is that it's convenient. It's a lot faster to type in a couple numbers than it is to make real shooting animations in Blender. But one downside to this method is that it doesn't look good. So instead of just lerping the position of the gun, I also lerp its rotation too. But with the addition of some randomness to the position and rotation, it starts to look pretty good. But the shooting still lacked impact, and that was because there wasn't enough camera shake. Now the game 5 months ago had camera shake, but I must have been drunk when I made it because this is what it looked like. So an increase in the camera shake, it was just too chaotic and would give me a mild headache. And the reason it was all jerky was because I was just generating random numbers to rotate the camera, which isn't ideal. But after doing a bit of research on the subject, I found that a lot of people sample Perlin noise in order to get smooth camera shake. And the reason this works so well is because Perlin noise is random, but
oh wait, hold on. Let me go let the dog back in. I'll be right back and I'll read your chat, Fraggle. Give me Well, go run your errands. Oh, I should still be here.
Values. So if we move a sample point along the noise, we will get a value that gradually changes in the range of 0 and 1. Using a bit of math, we can adjust these values to something more ideal and then apply them to the camera's rotation. And just like that, we have pretty decent looking camera shake. Once I was happy with the shooting, I moved on to first person animations. The animations featured in my last video were done quickly, since I was still experimenting with how to make catching weapons look good. So once I had that figured out, I remade all the animations in Blender and actually tried to make them look good. Now I'm not much of an animator, but I use this technique that I like to call have things animate fast enough so you can't see how terrible they actually look. And with this approach, I think they turned out pretty well. I also added camera shake on top of certain animations, like for when the magnet turns on or when throwing something, which just adds a lot more impact to those actions. So after adding better gunplay, camera shake, and animations, the game felt better to play, but another element was still missing. Camera animations. Not to be confused with camera shake. Camera animations are different. It's not always super noticeable, but a lot of FPS games use subtle camera movements when the player is sprinting, jumping, landing, or vaulting to help the player feel more grounded in the game world, as opposed to feeling like your guy is ice skating around on his ass. So I made a handful of very simple camera animations for when the player is running, jumping, and landing. I also made an animation for when catching something, so it feels like the thing you're catching has some momentum behind it. And while these animations are not really noticeable when playing, I think subconsciously the game feels a lot better with them than without them. But even with all these changes, the game still wasn't good enough. And the reason was because the player controller was a bit stiff, lacked refinement, and sucked ass. The biggest problem with the controller was momentum. You could wall run to build up speed, but as soon as you jumped off and hit the ground, all your speed was gone. Which I programmed intentionally, since having the player keep their speed would cause weird movements due to the design of the player controller. I think it's worth mentioning that the player movement isn't physics-based, so all the forces acting on the player is written by myself, a dumbass, which is why the movement glitches
I really like
in
this,
the first place. And
this
the reason
devlog.
for not using
A very good devlog. So, yeah, we're still.
Hey guys, it's Play. Yes, I'm back.
We're still looking to do a procedural animation. I'm thinking we just go from the run animation. How are we going to do this? We're essentially just going to start between two positions. Procedural running in. Let's take the sway scale down when we're. Well, let's go up here, sway scale. Let's go copy this. Control V. Public. Sway scale. 300. Let's go down here and weapon scale here. If is running, then we're going to set sway scale equal to yeah. My run scale. Sway run scale. Go up here. Go float. Temp sway scale equal to let's go back up. Sway reg scale. Sway scale itself, set it to nothing. Go down here into the code. Sway sway scale equals sway run scale, and if we're not running else, sway scale is equal to sway reg scale. Okay. So everything should be normal, but when we run, scale should be bigger. Let's take that down to these 600. Wait, hold on. Because I think I just figured out why it wasn't working. No, should have worked there. Let's do sway scale equals F scale F. Something. Springles, how's it going? Yeah, we're doing mighty fine. Hold on, let's see if I turn that up to 3. Just make, oh, I'm trying to make sure I got the frequency right. I think that's the intensity. So let's go 3.5 and the intensity to 3. F and intensity is 2F here. Sure, that's right. Intensity, yeah, 2F. 1F and 2F. 2F. Set there. Yeah, I don't think our frequency needs to be bumped up, or excuse me, intensity needs to be bumped up. Um, 0.8, 3.75. Let's take this down to like 1.2. My God, hobbling with a limp here. I think it's just because the time is not right on resetting it down to 0 when we're running. Control C. is running is true. And have a check here for if sway time is above, like, say, 9.6. Oh no, let's just try some random time. Then sway time is equal to 0. Otherwise, do nothing. So down here, we're going to have this in an else statement. Control C. Control V. All right. Let's see. So it's 200. So it's 3 times longer. So go to calculator. Calculator, 6.3 times 18.9. So let's try that here. 18.9. Roll it. Let's see if this fixes all of our problems. Ooh, dinner sounds good. I mean, I could have eaten while I was at the Mexican restaurant. I did. I mean, I did have some chips and stuff. I mean, it's pretty damn close. Almost close. Let's try 19.3. Wish I knew how to get it perfectly right. I mean, you can tell the hitch is in there. Is setting a float to time dot delta time at. Let's see. Yeah, no. This causes enough problems where having one float that just goes up over time is not really that bad of an issue. Okay. So if you're running down sites, you're not going to be able to hit shit. And we're also going to have the gun pull in towards the chest. peek in and out windows. Like it. Cool. Can't be having weird. Probably gonna have to make our guy a little those doors and things and everything. So now let's get the gun to go into when we're running, get it to lerp to a new position. Go down in here, get an empty. Call this CM4 run idle. Then we're going to start up the game. Oh wait, hold on. We're going to start it up. Focus. So we can. And let's grab our mission. And we go over here into the scene. Should be able. I've got to remove the time.delta time stuff. Hold on. The pause thing. Set the time scale bullshit. Comment that. So the time scale still works. Click play. There we go. Oh my god, it's still going back to the idle position. Take the idle position. Let's move it over. Oh my god. Rotation doesn't work. See, move it over here. Move it down. Over this way. Rotate it for a bit more. Over a bit. and component value. Then down in here in our code, stop the time scale, we'll keep it there. Go down in here to our gun logic if we have CM4. And we have if is running and gun pose dot local position is not equal to CM4. Instead of idle, we're gonna go up here, put in public transform CM4 run. Go back down here, CM4 run dot local position. We are going to do gun pose. Hold on. Let's just copy all. It's going to be easier. So gun pose local position vector 3 to, instead of aim down sights position, it's going to be CM4 run dot local position. And then the local rotation, gun pose local rotation to CM4 local position. Instead of this whole quaternion shit here, going to be for run local rotation. Time by time. Quaternion Euler. Station. Position. Up. If we're not already there. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. Think that it's ready to go. So now I just need to player, click on the controller, R4 run. And now if I click play, should start off normal. Then when I run, we go straight there. Just straight there. So what we need to do is, I guess, plus greater than, yeah. That. Yeah, because we're moving up on the, such an idiot. Yeah. Can't believe I didn't catch that. It is what it is. It's all good. Okay. So that's a little broken. Oh, wait. Well, is running can be active while idle is running. So that's a problem. So let's do this. And is running is false. So now we only set it to the idle position when we're not running and we are idle. Now it should work. There we go. So we get our running, but we snap back to idle. We don't want to. We are pretty much going to have to remove this snapping part here in the code. Because the snapping is going to cause so many issues. Just alert to those positions. Hold on, so let's go down in here. It's the restroom. Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom, and I'll just come back to you guys tomorrow. Because kind of drinking, taking this slow, so I'll see you boys, and we'll have much more to talk about tomorrow.